Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Nioh. We've finally come to the very last mission in the Omi region, and it's almost time at long last for William to get his hands on Edward Kelley. Azuchi Castle, originally burned down in 1585, has been reconstructed at Lake Biwa. At the top of this enormous castle awaits an evil alchemist and a resurrected Lord of War.
Nobody asked you to come with me. This is my battle.
わしらもお主も闇に戦う者だが一人で行かねばならぬわけでもあるまい。
暗陣を追うのじゃ。はっ。怪しき力で太平の世になろうと、それが知れては人の世は続かぬ。霊石を使い、再び大乱が起きぬとも限らん。太平がため、闇にさねばならんのだ。必ず。半蔵。 分かっておろうな。はっ、必ずや。
Alrighty, so for this mission, we are accompanied by Hattori Hanzo as well as Okatsu. Both of whom are tremendous helps. They really do more than pull their weight here. So we can't go this way, we can't go that way. What we can do is open up this gate and proceed onwards towards the really pretty scenery. This level is quite beautiful, but it does feel the most fantastical. And by that I mean it's the furthest removed from any sense of this being or feeling like a real place. Even though Azuchi Castle was very real and quite a scenic landmark. But just the way this stage is laid out with all the floating islands of spirit stone and all that, it feels more like this fanciful dreamscape. It helps to distinguish this, given how important this level is in the plot, but I like how most of the rest of the game, as far as setting goes, is somewhat grounded. This is just straight up like really fantasy stuff. And okay, they aren't gonna go off on their own and trigger the yōkai. Oh, forgot about this ambush. So as we rapidly approach the end of the game, Team Ninja, who ultimately finished this thing up and got it to this point where it could actually be released and come out in a state where it's super good, this brought them back from the brink, kinda. They were caught in a tailspin after... If you want to go back this far, Ninja Gaiden 2 felt like the last really solid thing that they had put out. because they felt like these kinds of core action games were a fading niche. And they had some really big failures after that as well. They had Ninja Gaiden 3, they had Yaiba, neither of which were received too well, and I don't think they sold too well either. Then they had Itagaki resigning as the president of Team Ninja, and all of that culminated into their morale being at an all-time low. And then they landed Nioh, and now Team Ninja is kind of back to being relevant. Nioh is their return to what they know and do best. It's a technically complex action game. Like, that's their core competency through and through. Oh, I never noticed this Kodama back here somehow. Like, I've compared this to Soulsborne games a lot, and rightfully so. I'm not gonna back down from that. Like, you can feel that DNA strongly in this. But everyone saying that this is just as much Ninja Gaiden at its core as it is Soulsborne, they're absolutely right as well. Oh, you see how helpful Hanzo and Akatsu are in this mission? They really, really have your back in a big way. This fight coming up sucks, because it's a Raven Tengu. Ooh! Not today. Oh god. Not today. And again, they will just kick ass. They even knocked them off a cliff. Oh, and they actually can fall off the cliff. The Raven Tengu can hit them off. They respawn back on the cliff. So, hey, they are the MVPs of this mission. We have another Raven Tengu right up on the other side of the cliff. We have a little bit more space to fight this one, even though he's taking a fighting them on the more narrow ledge. But as long as it's just the Raven Tengu against Akatsu and Hanzo, I'm fine with that. As long as I don't have to get up close and personal. I would rather have fought the Tengu on the landing, but that works too. There's another Konama up here. We take the ladder up onto the battlement, which is why we took that roundabout cliff path. So to get back to Team Ninja and how this story of Nioh coming together went for them, the way the studio head describes it is that Koei Tecmo just kind of tossed Nioh their way. Because remember, it was not originally their baby. It was in development hell since, when was it? 2004. And most of that was not spent with Team Ninja. Off the top of my head now, I can't remember which team it was working on it. But it wasn't Team Ninja. It only came to Team Ninja relatively recently in like the lifespan of this whole game's development. And they didn't really know what to do with it. Like, they didn't know what to do with this Japanese mythology period piece game about a white samurai. I hear them fighting in the distance. They're solving all my problems for me. God, they're fucking wonderful in this mission. They kick so much ass. But the really wonderful, really wonderful thing about how the story ends is how Nioh not only... Jesus, shit escalated out here. Hold on. I'll come back to this thought. Was expecting to come back from that and see... Oh shit. See this. Raven Tengu and Onyudo versus just kicking the asses of Okatsu and Hanzo. They can take some punishment before you have to go over and revive them. It's, oh boy. Since we kind of 2v1'd the Tengu, ship popped off out here once again. At least the Cyclops and the Almudo aren't really that bad together. In the corner, that's not great for us though. Did say that Azuchi Castle has become a hive of yokai, and they were not fucking around. They ratchet up the pressure on you, and they can feel a little bit more free to just throw tons of really tough enemies at you at a time because you have so much assistance, and that means so much to distract enemies. That's really like... People talk about like, oh, what if Souls games had an easy mode, or do they need an easy mode? They already have it. That's co-op. And the value of co-op is not just having an extra little bit of damage to do to a boss or something. It's distracting the AI. These games, AIs have never ever been able to handle multiple opponents. The closest you can come to a boss that's not trivialized by co-op is something like Dark Eater Midir in the Ringed City. But there's nothing in Nioh that punishes co-op like that. But now that we have that last gauntlet out of the way, proceeding further up this magical dreamscape bridge of floating rocks, a little bit of that falls away so that Okatsu and Hattori Hanzo cannot follow you up any further. And they'll adjust the relative difficulty of the encounters coming up so that you don't need 3 people with you to tackle it, but... Where was I with this now? Oh, before I get back on track, you can see from the radar, we're now being pulled 4 different ways. There are 4 different objective locations to head towards in the 4 corners of this floor of the mansion. Each one's going to be guarded by a relatively tough yokai, and they're all going to lead out to completely separate directions. We have to hit up every single one, otherwise the elevator near the shrine does not begin to function again. So, I think I was talking about the really nice way that this story ends for Team Ninja. And it ends with Nioh bringing them back from the brink of irrelevance. Gave them a newfound outlook on their studio's identity. I am just gonna whip the ass of Hino Enma after she gets out of that pool that's gonna regenerate her stamina. Instead of going out of their way like they were trying to do with especially Ninja Gaiden 3, to try to do what they think that Westerners wanted them to do, like watering down the most flamboyant things to appeal to as many people as possible, they just doubled down on making a very, very Japanese game that spoke more to their own sensibilities and their own, like, core competency. So they made this mechanically rich, technically complex, unforgiving action game slash, like, revisionist history period piece, blended with, like, huge amounts of Japanese mythology, from really famous stuff to things that are obscurely detailed. And it's been fun just picking that stuff apart and constantly... Oh my god, no! Oh, constantly finding new stuff. Easily beat the Hino Enma refight. Just obliterate her. Died a silly skeleton boy. Where was this skeleton's dramatic boss music? Oh, he's gonna wind up being the hardest refight we do. I'm likely gonna wind up speeding through most of the rest of the refights. We have 3 more ahead of us. And they seem pretty random. We have... I guess you'll just see them as they come up. The first one, or the first of the remaining 3, is gonna be Juragumo. This time with armor-plated legs, but that doesn't make a real difference in the difficulty level. And that's it for Juragumo. 2 refights left to go. I think the only difference in the refights, they might have a little bit more health, but it does not feel like it, to be honest. Like, without Fast Hero Enma went down, it seems like she had pretty low health. Juragumo as well. I think their damage levels have been scaled up a bit. So before we hit the next refight, just real quick, Yasuda, this game's director, not the studio head, that's Tom Lee? Something like that. The game director, Yasuda, went on to coin maybe the worst term for this kind of game that I have ever heard. Oh god, another skeleton. I have to make sure I don't fucking die to it. That term is masocore. Not massacre, masocore. It's a portmanteau of masochist and hardcore. Jesus fucking Christ. It's simultaneously both pretentious and extremely ugly as a word. It's like a verbal canker sore. And... oh, look at that. On Ryoki is our 3rd refight. Doesn't that just seem like a random pull for a refight? I actually have to watch it with these refights a little bit. Because, yeah, I'm 100% positive now that they are doing a lot more damage than they did on the initial fights. Like, they've scaled that up, but judging by how hard that I'm hitting them, it really feels like they have the same exact amount of health that they have when you first fight them. In their respective stages, that is. Oh, I'm still fucking pissed that I died to that skeleton. Oh, stop backflipping. Come on now. What nonsense is this? Oh, you. Again with the backflips. Come on now. Oh. Jesus. Oh my god, that's so funny. It's really funny to me. Oh, the basic yōkai, so basic they are, guarding the doors are putting up more of a fight than the refight bosses. Jesus Christ. Oh, last but not least, we have Nioh, who has not changed even a little bit. I would be more inclined to not just speed through those if it weren't for the fact that they don't do anything new. It would be some of the Twilight bosses, I think, have new attack patterns. Some of them actually have new attacks. I think it's fairly rare, but their behavior changes at the very least. I think it would be interesting if these refight enemies at least behaved a little bit more like their Twilight versions, but even then... Oh, and I don't know if I ever pointed this out about the Twilight missions. They rotate on a daily basis. They're, they're really amped up challenge versions of main mission stages, along with a couple of side quest stages. And you get 2 of them a day. Actually, I'm not sure if the global timer is 24 hours or not, but it's something like that. And now we can finally come up here, up the elevator after fighting 4 bosses along with this hellish hive of yōkai to see. Dun 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 dun.
Just in time. I have resurrected the most feared overlord in all Japan, Nobunaga Oda. The flames of war will envelop this country once again!
Oh, that's what I love. I love that after image effect. You sometimes get that on Williams back rolls as well. So Oda's fairly cool. I really love his design. And he overcomes some of the foibles of the other recent human enemies by, by being somewhat unique. Yeah, that explosion that I had already taken, that was about to stop me from going in. It was good damage. He's somewhat unique, but it's not a very intense fight. Especially for all the build-up. It's challenging to avoid all of the sources of damage he has, but the problem is he isn't beefy enough for this to be a war of attrition, and he's not damaging enough to threaten to kill you. So the danger of losing this fight isn't actually very high, which really fucks up the tension. He does have a lot of attacks. He cycles through elements, each element a living weapon he puts up gives him a new unique ability, and he moves around in a cool way. It's just that he's not deadly, so there's not much of an edge here. And we only have to get him down to about a quarter of his health to boot. Oh, surprised I got that second one off. Wasn't feeling confident there. Now I have the hiccups. Oh, hey, that's it.
Yes, kill him. What are you waiting for?
この信長を利用しようとは見くびられたものよ。誰かに使われるのは面白うない。戯れは終わりじゃ。久しぶりに面白い余興であったぞ。この信長の野望、道半ばであったが未練なぞない。猿も狸もわしの敷いた道を歩んでおる。この信長をただの改まとして蘇らせようなどと風流のわからぬ漬物よ。跳ねた首、流れた血も茶の湯も舞も混然たる我が生。ウヌアの神のように復活するも悪うはないが、ひとたび生を受け滅せぬもののあるべきか。
Fool of a samurai! You wasted my time!
Finally got the peacock. Tengen Kujaku. But normally we get those at the end of a mission. this is not the end. Even though Kelley has run away, and we fought 5 bosses up to this point, if you include all the refights, we aren't done. This mission is not closing out until we get our hands on Edward Kelley just up ahead. They're just nice enough to give you a shrine to refill after what they expect to be a fairly tough fight.
You think you have me?
Okay, so which is it going to be at the start? This is the easy one. Good. That one you just have to keep moving because it'll come up underneath you. He's another one he does that's more of a traditional projectile, but it tracks you really heavily, which makes it a lot harder to dodge. Oh, I only got one off. Kelley blocks a shitload. Oh, that's right. His grab is hyper armor. Okay, so I just have to stick to low stance and watch for that. Because it also leeches a pretty significant amount of life. And every strike he does against you also debuffs you. He's really not tough, though. He's got a couple good hits in, I suppose. But this fight is literally just an exercise in literally kicking the shit out of this man. It's by far the best way to get damage in. Because like I said, he will block a lot of your strikes. So just burn his stamina with kicks. And you're all good. Watch his teleports. And most importantly, just avoid the command grab. Everything else he telegraphs pretty heavily. And his moves are slow and they don't track a ton. And they don't have very big hitboxes. So just, again, kick the ever-loving shit out of him. It's very cathartic to finally have that. Really, one shy. Okay.
I have more than enough Amrita, thanks to this spirit. I didn't expect to need to use it here.
Six bosses deep and we ain't done yet. And unlike after we beat Nobunaga, oh man, it was way too early. Unlike when we beat Nobunaga, we don't get a break in between Kelley and Yamada no Orochi. That's cool. And I see all of this grand kick-ass scenery, and all I can think is, man, what a disappointing fucking boss fight this is, that this turned out to be. So notice how little the boss life bar has gone down, and yet this head's HP is now completely gone. Over here on the side, we can't get past the spirit crystal yet, but we saw one head slinking down. Once you destroy the first head, you fight 2 more. Once you destroy one of the next 2 that comes up, the whole roof becomes accessible, as do all of the remaining heads. So it turns into slightly a clusterfuck, but the other heads aren't active enough to pose much of a threat. Also, if you can get one of them to destroy one of these spirit crystal chunks, one of the heads will get stunned. thing is, the heads don't do much. And they're all basically the same. They're all imbued with different elements, but they all generally just do bite attacks. They fire colored orbs at you. They do a breath attack. The lightning one back there, trying to finish off, he's the only one who does something unique, I think, which is cause lightning strikes. And those lightning strikes ignore line of sight, which is a problem. And also, I have a lightning enchanted guardian spirit and living weapon, so that's also kind of problematic with the lightning elemental head. Oh, that left one, I didn't finish it off. A couple kunai. Brought a lot of shinobi boxes in to replenish my ninjutsu items. So I have tons of kunai and shuriken to throw. You can, like, you've seen me doing this all throughout the fight so far. You can run up. The bodies are normally close enough to the edge of the roof. Oh, and the fucking debris getting caught up in the maelstrom and swirling around. The window dressing of this fight is so good. It just makes it all the more disappointing that this is such a boring, lackluster, hollow fight. It's really disappointing, because this is kick-ass. This should be... I should be fucking screaming with hype. But it's just, it's nothing. They nailed the window dressing, and then... I didn't take advantage of that very well, but it's not like these heads have very much HP, so... And this is the last one. I like how dynamic this scenery is as well. Wow, I didn't expect it to do that much. Like, how much of the battlefield of this final fight has shifted as we progress through it. That's the only thing that has any real dynamism here. But it is really cool. Watching those cutscenes of William running full stop on this rain-slicked roof, I cannot imagine him keeping his footing, so everything in my head that I keep seeing is him just slipping off and dying, falling to his death anticlimactically. But before we end the mission, they give us a smattering of our first looks at divine weapons, including a new divine Kasarigama, which... hell yeah, I'm all about that. High level one, too. And here, at long last, is the body of Edward Kelley, who we have spent so long pursuing.
Edward Kelley, you will go to Japan.
It will be as you command, Sir D. All of this country's Amrita are being taken to him. efforts worthless.
They were not worthless.
You finally did it.
The war is over. Will the ninja disband now?
No. There are still rogues who mean Lord Ieyasu harm. Ninja will serve as long as darkness exists. What about you?
I won't trouble you again. I'll disappear. I have no desire to be killed.
いいのか。
あいつは侍とは違うと思ったけど、やっぱり同じよ。身勝手で無神経で冷たくて。
信長殿はそんなことを言ったか。
はっ。
いずれにせよ、お主のおかげで太平の礎を築くことができた。諸将の調略、あやかしの重複、こたびの戦、表裏よりよくぞ支えてくれた。まさに仁王のごとき働きである。
ありがたきお言葉。安仁は死に申した。こたびの戦における異国の者どものあやかしの騒ぎ、そして霊石の存在を知る者ももはやおりませぬ。
頂上じゃ。これより天下はあやかしではなく人のよう。関ヶ原が真実はしさねばなるまいの。安仁と申す者、生きておれば領を任じようとも志願しておったが、残念にのう。
失礼つかまつる。
安心が死んだじゃと。半蔵も嘘が下手じゃ。ついとる化け猫も呆れておったわ。
すべては巡り巡る。家康はこの後江戸幕府を築き、250年以上の長きにわたる戦乱なき世を作った。
I love that ending. Because they explain away like this revisionist alt history stuff with all the yokai running around and spirit crystals and fucking sorcerers and 100-foot skeleton monsters made of corpses. As like, oh, we have to cover it up. The historians, they must never know all of this bullshit happened. Oh, and then you have Ieyasu, knowing full well that Hanzo was just lying to him about William being dead, and laughing it off from the balcony of the castle. I think that's wonderful. They wrap things up so nicely there at the end. And the credits might be rolling here, but we sure aren't done yet. I did say that there was only one region left that we hadn't been to, as we transitioned from Sekigahara into Omi. Wasn't lying about that. And I did also say that the mission that we just did, the Demon King Revealed, was the final mission in the Omi region. However, it's not the final mission of the game. The final mission of the game, we have a little bit of a loose end. The final mission of the game takes place where we began the game, not in the Kyushu region, before we even took that damned boat ride across the ocean to Japan. We're going back to the Tower of London. Hey, there it is, Ben Peel as William/Sir Anjin. I was wondering about that a few episodes ago, and everybody let me know that he is not done, I think, any other games except for Nioh. I might be slightly off on that. He may have done one or two, but he's mostly known for a bevy of television roles. But I did get my wish that, like, I was hoping it wasn't just some really well-known, like, a Phil Lamar or Nolan North putting on an accent that I somehow wouldn't recognize them through. I got my wish that wasn't a well-known voice actor doing it, doing William. I'm just kind of drinking in this music right now because I never really took the time to sit down and listen to it, so I think I'm just gonna let the remainder of the credits roll and listen to what feels like a really inappropriate track for this game.
dream of you with eyes wide open.
This. What the fuck was this music choice? It seems so random. My brow is deeply furrowed. What the fuck? This sounds like a love song. What the fuck? Oh, now we're going to... Oh no, I guess something more appropriate than a love song? I'm waiting for the wistful lyrics to kick in though. Finally got our original Guardian Spirit pack. At last, I've defeated Kelley and taken back Sersha. However, there's still something I must do. And that something, again, is back in the Tower of London. For the main mission, and the final one of the base game, The Queen's Eyes, England, 1603. The war against Spain and Ireland continues to drag on, and the costs weigh heavily on the royal treasury. Now on top of increased taxes and poor harvests tormenting the people of England, Queen Elizabeth has passed away. I'll see you guys next time to bring this full circle. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one.